The Egyptian army finally halted only 20 miles from Tel Aviv. The Israelis were fighting for their survival, and after 3 weeks of fierce resistance, they brought the Arabs to a standstill.
We had no aircraft. We had no tanks. And we were going into war this way. We hardly even had guns. We would try to buy guns as much as we could, anywhere we could. In this situation, we were really saved by Czechoslovakia, that is Russia. America didn't give us arms.
When the weapons came in, the whole balance of power changed. And the Israelis would then pass on to the offensive.
We weren't even mentally prepared. We just weren't ready. So our officers were confused and panic-stricken.
And so the Egyptian army was surrounded, and then the Jordanian army just kept neutral, didn't interfere in any way. Finally, our prime minister here in Egypt, Krashi Pasha, was murdered by the Muslim Brothers. And his successor said, with no future in this war, let's make peace.
But there was no peace, only a ceasefire agreement. The Arabs believed a peace treaty would be an acknowledgement of defeat. Both sides mourned their dead. Even before the ceasefire agreements were signed, Israel held its first democratic election. Ben-Gurion and his Labor Party won. Israel celebrated the triumph of its armed forces. But the Arabs refused to recognize Israel's right to exist.
And so, the state of Israel survived its baptism by fire. But that's only one side of the story. What happened in the summer of 1948 in the Arab, Muslim, Palestinian community is remembered quite differently. It's called Al-Nakba, which in Arabic means the catastrophe. A catastrophe because hundreds of thousands of Palestinian Arabs were uprooted, displaced, found themselves in refugee camps in Lebanon, in Jordan, in the West Bank, and in Syria. This statelessness, this homelessness, this refugee status only was beginning in 1948. 19 years later, things would get even worse with the occupation Israel of the West Bank, the Golan Heights, and the Gaza Strip following the 1967 Six-Day War. Will be the subject of the next lecture. So when we come back, we'll look at another Arab-Israeli war, easily the most decisive, the Six-Day War, in which Israel preemptively struck against its enemies who were gathering against it. Next time, the Six-Day War.